A.J. Brown, he hasn't lost anything. It's the volume of passes that's not going his way. You have six targets in the first quarter. He's got 3 the rest of the game. You figure that out. The eve of Thanksgiving, and we welcome you aboard here with us. Wow. The content has been spectacular. It's one of the most interesting teams I've ever covered in my entire life. I'm talking the Philadelphia Eagles, obviously. I mean, this is like my favorite time of the year, too, because you got turkey and you've got football on Thursday. Food and football. Never go wrong. Then you got college games. You got Ohio State, Michigan this weekend. I mean, food and football. Again, this is exactly what you're looking for when you start the holidays off, right? All right. Now, I want to make sure we do something again here because people over on my X account are having a little bit of a cow, and especially all of you Jalenites. I want to make sure you have a very good Thanksgiving and make sure it's gobble gobble because I'm sure many of you are gobble gobble. I mean, all the Jalenites are gobble gobbling right now this holiday season, and gobble gobble to all you Jalenites. Holy shit, man. Happy Thanksgiving and gobble gobble. Yeah. Then again, you're used to gobbling. So what else, right? How you doing? All right. A lot of glazed donuts going around now. Eagle fans, I've never seen you fucking cry more. I've never seen you cry more. Hey, by the way, this game on Friday, you're giving the benefit of the doubt once again, like you did the Roseman in the 2025 roster, because it was based off the victory float when you were going up and down Broad Street. How are you giving them the benefit of the doubt when they have been brutal this year on offense? Where are you better than the Bears? Look, the Bears, and I hear people going, well, you know, they're used to being in the spotlight. Not this team. Birds are wearing black for Patullo's funeral on Friday. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, Silz. You too, brother. Thank you very much, man. Super chats go to the top. Please hit the like button. Seriously, man, where do you think you're fucking better? Where are you better than the Bears? You're making it sound like your 2024 season, you've been lighting it up. We brought it up with Howard Eskin yesterday over the last 7 games outside of Fool's Gold September and Liars Month. You're 4-3 in the last 7 ball games. Liars Month, 4-0. Last 7, you're 4-3. And you've been playing wobbly football the entire season. Where in the world are you coming off where you're one of the elite football teams? I will give you this. The teams you've beaten, you've got a hell of a resume. There is no question about it. That's a hell of a resume that you've got. But I want to go here, and I'm going to do this. How many people in here, I heard John McMullen saying this. Jalen Hurts hasn't had a better season than Caleb Williams. At what metric? Completion percentage? Well, that's because the guy doesn't throw the football as much. He's 25th in passing attempts. Where in the world would you think that he's had a better season than Caleb Williams? Both teams roll into the game on Friday, 8-3. Where in the world? Here, let me give you the numbers. We'll go by the numbers, too. Right now, when it comes to Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams on pace for 4,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 6 picks. Hurts is on pace for 3,500 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 2 picks. Okay? Great. I mean, where in the world do you think he's having a better season? Why? Because he's got 4 less turnovers? Have you been watching him lately with that shitty offense? Where in the world are you coming up with that? Where you're sitting here and you're telling me, well, hey, you know, Hurts is having a way better season than Caleb Williams. Both 8-3. By the way, they beat the piss out of the Cowboys. Cowboys rolled back on you, 24 unanswered points. Simple. Hey, every single metric that the Bears have had, plus they got a play caller that is going to really be an interesting matchup between him and Vic. I can't wait to see that. I mean, Odunze's pretty damn good. He's on pace for 1,100 yards. Devontae's on pace for 1,100 yards. I mean, A.J. Brown and what's the other kid's name? DJ Moore on pace for 800 yards. Where do you have the advantage on offense? Their O-line's better than your O-line. Okay? And how about this? Well, the Bears don't have a very good defense. Well, their star defensive lineman, Montez Sweat's having a better year than Carter. I mean, he's going to get like around 11 and a half sacks. He's a dominant player. Silz, the Bears' defensive front's not that good. Well, who says your offensive line's good? That's like a wash. You're making it sound like you guys are doing something great. This is going to come down like it did. And once again, folks, this Chicago Bears offense looks like the Dallas Cowboy offense to me. Now, one thing that's different, and it's true, the quarterback doesn't have the experience on spreading the football around like Dak Prescott does. That is going to be the key in the ball game. But also this, you have struggled with scrambling quarterbacks this year. Have you not? Have you not struggled with scrambling quarterbacks? Shit, Jackson Dart beat your ass. Jackson Dart. I wouldn't consider one of the high-flying quarterbacks in the NFL. Jackson Dart was extending plays with his legs. You have struggled with quarterbacks. By the way, one of the big keys in that Cowboy victory this past weekend was Prescott taking off with his wheels. You have struggled with quarterback, and Vic even said he is an elite scrambler, and he even mentioned today talking about Jackson Dart up in New York. Okay? So that's on J-Mac going viral with Ruben yesterday. Had to be done. You can't let a guy walk over you when you're sitting there talking a question and he's talking over your question. That's not how those pits work. John was right. Probably should have told him maybe to the side. But at the end of the day, Ruben Franks thinks he can fucking just roll over anybody. Hey, sit down, guy. I think John handled it perfectly. Hey, if you don't protect yourself like that, okay? If you don't, nobody's going to for you inside the pit like that. All right? So, yeah, I mean, Caleb Williams has had just as good a year, if not a better year than Hurts so far this year. He's going to struggle? He might. It's the first big game he's ever been in. But I'll tell you what that I think has been evident this year is that Ben Johnson has coached the bad football out of him. He's coached the bad ball out of him. And he's now starting to play the style of offense and move the chains that they're looking for to get out of that quarterback. He's actually saving the guy in something that no quarterback has had happen to them in Chicago in maybe the last 3 decades. You have a coach that's actually getting the best out of the player, whether or not it turns out that that guy is going to be a superstar ball player is yet to be determined. But he's coaching the bad ball out of him. Good for him, man. And that's why that offense, and we're going to look at the Bears here in a minute, and that's why the Bears have a shot in this ball game on Friday. Make no mistake about it, dude. You're not better than anybody where you're going to go out and kill anybody. You haven't done it all year. Oh, and by the way, what are we going into? Week 13? You guys stop with the switch. You're not going to flip a switch and do anything. This is who you are. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to get better. You're injured in your O-line. Your running back's not where it is. That's not getting better. You're not going to get fucking healthier by the end of the year. November 26th. You're not. Who gets healthier by the end of the year in an NFL season? Nobody. That's right. Hey, man, you're not healthier, and you're not going to get healthier. This is who you are. Hey, you know what's crazy? I'll tell you something, man. I have never wavered off of my position on Jalen Hurts. You know what I'll say to all of you? Welcome aboard. You finally caught up. All of a sudden, everybody's got all these grandiose takes about Jalen Hurts. I've been saying this for 5 years. You're just catching up. I love how everybody in Philly, they take what we've been saying for 5 years, and all of a sudden, now it's their takes. Congratulations. Welcome aboard. You're catching up. I'm proud of you. I'm actually proud of you. You're catching up. I mean, that's why I'm not shocked on Sundays. When you wobble like that, hey, James, James, tell the truth. Have I been saying this shit about the quarterback for 5 years? Have I not? Everyone else has gone on this roller coaster ride except me. I haven't gone on a roller coaster ride. You have. I saw it from day one. I'm not shocked. You're the ones that are shocked. Since day one. Day one. We said the same shit about the quarterback that we're saying today on November 26, 2025. We've never changed. I mean, now everyone's talking about he's limited. Can't really throw from the pocket well. He doesn't really have a good grasp of being able to go through progressions. Funny? That's the shit I said 5 years ago. Not just last year. 5 years ago. Since day one I got here. I've been saying the same shit about Jalen Hurts. Now, all of a sudden, everyone's got an epiphany. Congratulations to you. I'm glad you're all grown up. Kudos to you. You finally jumped aboard the A train with Big Silz. And now you're seeing the limitations. Fight Night 2026. Ruben versus J-Mac and Silz versus Mike M. Mike M, who's that? Yeah. Okay. Big Silz, you know what's crazy? Google LaShawn McCoy coordinator has to fit Jalen. And look what he says. Read it for some of these Glazers who keep blaming KP. It's like some of these idiots refuse to believe it's Hurts. Oh, my God. Hey, I'll say this to you. Thank God Hugh Douglas and LaShawn McCoy are black, or they'd be calling them racist too. And thank God they're former Eagles, or they'd be racist too. You make any kind of comments towards Hurts in any way, that's the number one thing they throw at you, because you know why? It's lowbrow thinking shit. And that's the only thing they have. And you know you're winning the argument when they throw that out there at you. When they throw that out there at you, I know I'm winning. I know I'm winning. Now, I'll disagree with this a little bit. I think he has improved. Look, I think the kid works hard. I think he's a fine ball player. Elite? Never. I never thought Troy Aikman was elite. Get this. I never thought Troy Aikman was an elite quarterback. You put Troy Aikman with the New Orleans Saints, he'll be exactly who you think he is. He'll be a middle-of-the-road guy with no talent around him. And again, when you have Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin, and you got an O-line that's spectacular, Troy Aikman's Troy Aikman. That guy's not John Elway, Joe Montana. He's not Marino or them guys. He was never those guys. He played within a structured formaldehyde jar. That's exactly who Troy Aikman was. Nobody ever puts this conversation in this. Hey, Troy Aikman is a generational player. He's got 3 Super Bowls. I never heard anybody say that shit about him. I've never heard that. Okay? Never. I don't think they just used their arm, dude. They used their legs and their minds and being able to dissect defenses because they understood and they processed well. Okay? They did. Silz, you were wrong about the Eagles not making a Super Bowl with Hurts. Okay? I was. I was also right you'd have a nuclear meltdown in 23. You guys disputed me on that one. You're right. The 24 season, I was wrong. Actually, I picked you to go to the Super Bowl in March of 2022 before anybody else did, because I remember Xander going, wow, Silz, you got to be one of the first people. In March of 2022, I picked you to go to Super Bowl that year. I know some of you forget that. I picked you to go to the Super Bowl in the offseason of 22, and you did. Because I thought the team that he was building was Super Bowl worthy because it was a 53-man unit. I picked you to go in 22. This is the Jalen Hurts offense. When you win, it's keep the main thing the main thing. Who cares about how it looks? But when you lose, he passes the buck. Yeah, he's a situational leader. Okay, he is. Who's beating them at home in the playoffs? You got to worry about Chicago. Hey, dude, you better worry about Chicago on Friday before you start worrying about the playoffs and worrying about home field. You're not some elite team. I don't believe there's an elite team in the NFL. I mean, and that goes for both conferences. There's no elite team. You ain't one. You're a good team. You're a good football team. Okay, Silz, is it true to say Jalen can't develop like Caleb Williams? No, he can't develop like Caleb Williams. He doesn't have the skill set. He's not a very good passer. I'll take that back. He's an okay passer. He's good enough. He's got a pretty decent deep pass. He's accurate as hell when it comes to on the numbers. And by the way, why do you think they throw the numbers? It's simple. They throw to the numbers because if there's overthrows, there's no interceptions. If he's in, do you know why? Hey, Kyle, is there any way for somebody to tell me what the percentage that Jalen Hurts throws the football to the numbers compared to the middle of the field? I'm going to make a random number up. Xander, I think I'm going to make a random number up. So this may be off a bit. I got to feel that he throws to the numbers 85% of the time. Why is that? Well, if you throw over the field, in the middle of the field, and with his inaccuracy at times, throwing in overthrows, those are going to be interceptions. That's why he doesn't throw in the middle of the field, because he knows he's not the most accurate guy. It's either a catch or an incompletion because it's to the numbers. And you've got exceptional wideouts on both sides of the numbers. That's why there's not a lot of passes across the middle of the field. It's because the quarterback is not accurate. He overthrows a lot. We saw overthrows in that second half, and really after the first 15 minutes of that game against Dallas. There were a ton of overthrows. When you get overthrows, you get interceptions. That's why he throws to the numbers. It's not that hard to figure out. It's either a catch or an incompleted pass. I mean, that's exactly what you want, and that's why they're 5-yard passes. 5-yard passes to the numbers. If it's not a completion, it's out of bounds. It's not across the middle of the field. It's not hard. That's why it's an elementary offense. That's why when Greg Cosell goes, why is this elementary? Well, he doesn't throw across the middle of the field because at the end of the day, he doesn't trust his arm. The coaches don't trust his arm. And most notably, they don't trust his accuracy. Okay? Hey, Silz, do you see, get this, you see this guy here, Senor, says that Brady used to do 5-yard passes. Yeah, he threw across the middle of the field, though. Brady threatened the seam with Gronk. The passing attack was in the middle of the field to Gronkowski. You think there's any coincidence? In Brady's entire time in New England, the top guys were tight ends. Aaron Hernandez, Gronkowski, all those guys were threatening the seam. I mean, the wideouts, there's not one wideout will ever go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame that they won a Super Bowl in New England with. Nobody. The tight end was the threat because he threatened the middle of the field. Hey, Silz, do you see the report from Aaron Wilson that Howie made a strong push for running back Dameon Pierce? Hey, not a shocker. He sees that Barkley's running out of gas. Like I said yesterday, I was off a year. I thought this would be the Barkley this year instead of last year. So he was able to get you to Super Bowl. Hall of Fame guy, my ass. Silz, that 5 things. What 5 things would you do in the offseason to put the Eagles back on track for a Super Bowl run? Got to get offensive line. You got to fix that corner, and you got to work on your safeties. I think those have been the major issues. You don't need an elite edge rusher. You need people that are competent to be able to set the edge for you like you had in 24. But you don't need a guy with 17 or 18 sacks. You need competent edge rushers. I think you're working into them now with Jalen Hunt and with Jalen Phillips. I think those could be quality guys. Nolan Smith has fallen off the fucking planet. You guys were all hyped up over a 7-game stretch. I told you, pipe down. We were right about that too. Told you Nolan Smith, 7 games, big deal. The guy's off the planet right now. He's hurt always, and he's not productive. Nothing's changed. He had a 7-game run. Everybody was ready to give him 25 to 30 million bucks. You kidding me? That guy's not worthy of 3 million bucks. Give Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith, you put him on the open market, you think you're getting a 1 back for him? You'd be lucky to get a 4 for him. I mean, what? How productive? Jalen Hunt's getting better. Jalen Hunt is, we said at the beginning of the year, Jalen Hunt will probably be better by the end of the year, and he is. He's getting better. Seals 49ers getting healthy. Half the team missed most of the season, 6 cupcake games left. Hey, remember what we said too, my friend, that San Francisco would probably win that division. Why? Because they play cupcakes. Here they are. Right there again. Rams are better, but they play nobody. And they split this year at worst, the 49ers. Okay, they split. Jalen Hunt's getting better and better. You need a running back, and you need offensive linemen. By the way, Dallas Goedert is falling off the planet. You need a tight end. Get better tight end, too. Hey, and you might want to think about a center. Cam Jurgens, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because I saw how great he was a year ago. I'll bring him back. Dude, that guy's on a short leash with me. You bring him back with that back injury and the leg injuries that he's had this year, that guy's got a long way to go up that hill again, man. I don't see it. Here, let me just go down the list here. I think Bilotta's had a nice year. I think Landon, he's been too spotty this year. I think all the injuries are catching up with his ass. Cam's been a turd. Steen's been solid, I guess. Since when does the Eagles have solid O-linemen? They have dominant O-linemen. He's not dominant. He's solid. That's not a dominant player. I saw Quentin Williams kick the shit out of him. That's not a dominant player. Lane's lost a step. Goddard's lost. A.J. Brown, he hasn't lost anything. It's the volume of passes that's not going his way. You have six targets in the first quarter. He's got 3 the rest of the game. You figure that out. They got the lead. They don't want to throw the ball. They told the quarterback to hand off. And let's see if we can hold off Dallas. You know what happened on the way to the victory for Dallas? You couldn't hold them off. Because you know why? Your margins of error, like we said, are thin, like paper thin. And when your defense couldn't stop, you lost the game. That's your razor-thin margins that you have. You can't afford to have one side of your ball at any time in a game, whether it's the Bears. Hey, the Bears remind me of the Dallas Cowboys, except at quarterback. If Dak was on that Bears team, they beat you. Caleb Williams is coming around. I think Ben Johnson's done a nice job with him. Still a lot to be desired, in my opinion, yet to see if this guy can win a big ball game. Okay? Because Clinton Fangio couldn't stop a team from scoring 24 points. That's because your offense couldn't get any kind of rhythm going because they fucked up in penalties and their play calling, and they couldn't complete percentage plays. You had 4 3-and-outs. You had bad plays, and you had mistakes. Hey, by the way, your mistakes and penalties, that's an Eagle thing, man. That's not a Cowboy thing. Get your shit together. Get this. Listen what this guy said. Sure, blame the offense only, not the defense, for not getting to the quarterback. Well, who said you had elite pass rushers? You were under the impression, senor, that Jalen Carter was a revolutionary or generational player. Well, where is this guy? He got handled. You overestimated and you overrated Jalen Carter. You overrated him. Dude, Quinnen Williams is a better player right now. Jalen Carter is overrated this year. He's overrated. Up and down, spotty, out of shape, no discipline, $36 million? Good luck. Yeah, he looked like he's earned it. That guy, if anything, has earned a 5th-year extension or the option. I'm not giving that guy generational cash. For what? A shit year? A shit year compared to what you thought he was going to give you. Dude, he's a common player right now. And he's not living up to his abilities. Well, show up, kid. They need you to be a game wrecker. Dallas blocked the shit out of you. Facts. That guy got his ass kicked. Got his ass kicked. I mean, you can sit there and make an excuse. You'll make an excuse for him like you do with the Jalenites. Carter held and double-teamed every play. Okay. More fucking glazed donuts than ever before. You can always tell an Eagle glazed donut eater. Silz, when Miami plays Oregon, I want to hear your thoughts on the offensive tackle. He could be Lane's replacement. Heck of a kid up there. I know who you're talking about. Oh, but Carter's been double-teamed. You tried double-teaming Quinnen Williams. He threw both of your guys around like he was like, they were like yesterday's laundry bags. Quinnen Williams was double-teamed, and he was beating the fuck out of you. I mean, that guy was ripping double teams apart. Talk to me about double teams. When you're in well, get this. Hey, this just in, guys. If you can't beat double teams, I'm not paying you $36 million. I'll pay you $36 million because Chris Jones beats double teams. Chris Jones gets double teamed every day. They don't got anybody next to him. He beats double teams every day. Every game. Every moment. You guys want to sit there and cry about, like, well, he gets double teamed and held. Hey, welcome to being a big-time player. Or so we thought. I mean, go back and watch the tape. Booker was beating him up one-on-one. Absolutely true. You don't want to hear glazed donut Eagle fan, though, because they'll go, he was being held. No, he wasn't. He got his ass kicked. One-on-one. Ass kicked. Boom. Booted. Okay? Boom. Chris Jones has 3 Super Bowl rings, douchebag. I mean, 3 Super Bowl rings. Okay. And he's the highest paid interior D tackle in pro football. And he's on his way to Canton, Ohio. You might want to draw a map for Jalen Carter where it is. Because one day he could visit and see how defensive tackles played the position and how they prepared themselves for upcoming football seasons. Might have done him well in his career. Hopefully it's not too late. Okay? Hopefully it's not. Hey, give it to Jordan Davis. I think he's played well. He got his ass kicked too in that game. Like you said, and get this, the Bears have a good line too. If you think that Carter and Davis are going to dominate the Bears, based off of what? Based off of what? Based off of what? What gives you that they're going to dominate the Bears O-line? Based off of what? Tell me. Help me out here. Your 20th ranked run defense? I mean, hey, Silz, well, the Bears aren't that good too. So what? It's a push? Okay, so the Bears off defense is as good as your defense. Okay. So this comes down once again to the Bears offense versus the Eagle defense. This is what the game's going to come down to. This is what it's going to come down to. Right? Okay. I mean, holy shit. Honest to God, you're giving your team, hey, everything I said about your football team in the offseason, not replacing the players, the offensive coordinator being fucking stupid. If you think Barkley's going to run for $2,000, if you think Nolan Smith is going to be a fucking superstar player, all of that, we said to you, that ain't happening. Where did you think that was going down like that? Based off of 24, you gave everyone the benefit of the doubt. Every year's different, my friends. All of that. You guys fought me telling me that all these players were going to be able to be replaced. That is so far from the truth. It's so far. Barkley, I told you he'd be under 1,400 yards. This guy might be under 1,200 yards this year. Hall of Fame, my balls. Hurts was never going to be a guy who was going to elevate to 4,500 passing yards and 30 touchdowns. My ass. This guy's a 3,200 to 3,500 yard passer with 20 touchdowns and about 4 or 5 picks a year because that's how they coach his ass. He's nothing more than that. And now that you don't have the volume of throwing the ball, AJ and Devontae in parts of games have become irrelevant. They've become irrelevant in large stretches. Think of that. Large stretches of the games. Those guys are not relevant. It's like, it's cookie cutter. You go to them, stop. Then you try to ramp up the offense when you're starting to get behind or the game's close. That's why you don't get any continuity going. Because you don't have any rhythm throughout the game at all in any way. And by the way, Nick talking at the press conference, I mean, all he's doing is in like self-control of guarding his guy. At least he's doing that this time compared to what he did with Brian Johnson. I mean, you got to be kidding me. Okay? No doubt. Hey, one thing about Mike Tomlin, at least he picks his own players and picks his own coaches, and he determines who's on his football team or not. He's got complete say of his football team. Nick is a fucking doorman. He's a doorman at a strip club. And by the way, listening to Kevin Patullo is like listening to a librarian when he's at a press conference. I tuned it off. I can't listen to that bullshit. Shit he's talking about. And it's so dumb. I mean, John says that guy's good behind the mic. Based off of what? I don't even understand what the fuck he's talking about. Well, we're trying to do this. We're trying to do that. We're trying to do it. That's all I hear out of the guy. We're trying to do this. We want to make sure we're doing this. Say, you're trying to do what? You're doing nothing. It's an elementary offense. You're trying to fucking do what? I don't see you trying to do anything. The offense is more predictable than the Daytona 500. Yeah, all you do is go left for 4 hours. That's exactly right. I mean, there's like, I tuned Nick off, or not Nick. I tuned off of Kevin Patullo because I wanted to listen because I had missed it. I was like, fuck that, man. It was after 4 questions. I went, I'm out. All this guy's going to do is make excuses up for a shitty passing offense and an inability to be able to run the ball. Hey, bottom line, I don't need you to explain to me. My eyes see it. You can't block anybody, and you can't stay consistent in the passing game. You don't need a really breakdown of being an analyst watching that bullshit. Do you really need an analyst or any kind of expert to go, they can't run the ball and they have no fluid continuity in their passing game? Play calling's all over the place, and the quarterback's limited. What else do you need to know? By the way, 5 fucking years I've been telling you this. I mean, I'm not shocked. Silz, this is a great question. No, I don't. Silz, do you think Jalen is a bad quarterback? No, I don't. Hey, listen, let me ask you something, Steven. We had Rich McKay on my program. We had Rich McKay, the president of the Atlanta Falcons. It's a great soundbite. I made Xander make it for me, and I've saved it. He came on this program and said this, Xander, right? We drafted Dan Sileo in Tampa, a 3-technique defensive tackle to play nose guard. We may have wanted to rethink that and how we played him. They put me in an environment I'd never played. I'd never been a nose. I didn't even know how to play the position. I'd never played nose in my entire 4 years of high school, my 4 years of junior football, my 4 years in college. I had never played nose guard ever in my entire life. Ever played it. And the president of the Falcons came out and said, he's a 1-gap 3 technique guy. We're playing him in a 2-gap. Well, don't you think what they're doing to Jalen Hurts right now, not coaching him to a skill set, is exactly the same shit that they're doing to Hurts? So right now, Hurts blows in a passing game and in running the offense. He's terrible. In a different approach, like with Shane, he's going to be like Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, Brian Dable was all over the place with him in New York, right? Lesser talent. You put him in Indianapolis, Daniel Jones looks like the guy everybody thought he was going to be when he came out of Duke. You don't think there's any fucking coincidence to that? Around better players, around better coaching, and a coach who knows how to use an RPO quarterback. Do you actually think there's nothing to that? How stupid can you be? And I'm not saying all of you in here, but all the glazed donuts are in here. They don't see it that way. Coaching matters in the NFL. Coaching doesn't matter in college. It's recruiting. It's recruiting and assistant coaching hires. Head coach doesn't do shit in college. When you're an NFL, there's a reason why you're great on defense. At every level, you've got the best coaching staff in pro football on your defensive side of the ball. It's the only thing keeping you in ball games right now. Your offense ain't keeping you in games. It's your defense that's keeping you in. Vic Fangio is keeping you in ball games right now. Silz, they just lost to Dallas. Okay. Well, you're not going to win every game this year. Look at the team that's making all the fuck-ups. Hey, get this. It's one thing to get beat. Like Adoree Jackson was terrible in that game. Terrible. Do you know the two worst players in pro football last week were Keely Ringo and were Adoree Jackson with their grades? They were the worst players in the league at their respected positions. The worst. Those are the guys you replace people with. Well, Silz, guys got hurt. Hey, welcome to the NFL. Okay? That side of the ball is the only thing keeping you in games now. Think about what's going on in games. 14 penalties for 96 yards. Inconsistency in the passing game, can't get the run game going. The defense is trying to get better on the run stopping. They're decent in coverage when it comes to their linebackers. Now the war of attrition starting to beat them up in the secondary. You think that's going to be any difference in this game on Friday? Where are you coming from with this? You're giving these guys the benefit of the doubt. You're no better than Chicago. Oh, based off what metric? You're no better than Seattle. It doesn't matter, Silz, if the OC wants a head coaching job. He will leave, so Jalen has to learn how to pass with no matter what the OC is. He's doomed to – no. He's not doomed, John. His development is always going to be wobbly. Jalen Hurts is going to look – you know why you see – hey, John, do you know why you see certain games where Jalen Hurts looks like he's spectacular? Jalen Hurts has ability to be really good. But he won't have the ability to be consistent. Why? Because your OCs aren't consistent. Can you imagine having a different voice every day? And you're listening to a different voice every day and telling you how to run an offense. Different terminology, different styles. You heard Michael Irvin say Chan Gailey wanted the system to be the system. And he wanted to win games because of his system. That's the Eagles. And then there was North Turner saying, I'm running the offense through you. I mean, you heard Michael Irvin say that. So you're telling me that what? All those coordinator changes? That's exactly what you're going through and what he goes through. He goes through a guy who wants to have a system because Nick wants a system. Brian Johnson and KP are a product of Nick. Kellen Moore and Shane are a product of their own way of the talent around them. Shane and Kellen did a better job at using the talent in the huddle than what Brian and what KP are. Some would go like this. Silz, Brian had a pretty... Yeah, but you know what Brian's problem was? He assumed that Hurts would control the turnovers, and he couldn't. That's why he was fired, because there were too many turnovers. Passing game, who knows what Brian Johnson would have done if Brian Johnson had another year? Maybe they would have cut down. Hey, Brian, how do you think Brian Johnson would have done with Saquon Barkley? Brian Johnson would be a head football coach somewhere in the NFL right now if he had Barkley. With the way he ran last year and the way that Barkley ran, they wouldn't have to throw it as much as they did in 23. Brian Johnson would be a head football coach in the NFL. If that guy had Barkley, Brian Johnson would have been the best coordinator he had. Hurts was 8th in passing. 8th. That guy knew what he was doing, except for one thing. He gave Jalen the benefit of the doubt because of their friendship that went back a long way. He put his job on the line thinking that Jalen would take care of the ball more. When they saw he couldn't, that's what his undoing was. Those are all fucking facts. That's how Brian Johnson's career went. He gave Jalen the benefit of the doubt. These coaches here are not. And that's why you don't have high volume passing. Hey, Kyle, do me a favor. What year did Jalen Hurts have the most volume of passing? Was it with his buddy, Brian Johnson? Yes or no? Did Jalen Hurts under Brian Johnson have more volume of passing under him? He gave him the benefit. It's a catch-22, Silz. If Patullo was good, he'd be gone next year too. I said this 2 years ago. Jalen Hurts will never have the same. He will never have the same coordinator as long as he's as long as Nick Sirianni's the head football coach in Philadelphia. 23. So get this. Jalen Hurts had more volume of passing in 23 under Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson gave him the benefit of the doubt. That was his undoing. Kellen was not going to give Jalen the benefit of the doubt. When they found Barkley, they found their bell cow. No turnovers, limited passing, be efficient, throw to the numbers. If the guy's not accurate, goes out of bounds, less turnovers, dominant running game, see you later. Unfortunately, that took its toll on the team. The team is beat up right now because of 24. They've not recovered. You can see it. The entire offense is slow. Everything's slow. The progressions, the series, the continuity, everything's slow. It's like they're like one step. Though, get this, A.J. Brown hasn't lost a step. The entire offense has lost a step. Do you agree with me on that? The entire offense has lost a step. Everybody. What about Devontae Silz? I'm talking about the unit. I'm talking about the unit itself has lost a step. Get this. Whiteouts as a unit, you're 25th in passing. What the fuck are you talking about? Not the wideouts. The entire unit has lost the step. Look at it. Is someone coming in to help the coaching staff? I don't know yet. I don't fully agree with that. Of course you don't. Even though you're watching it on a week-to-week basis. It's week 13, dude. This infamous M. Reyes, well, they're going to flip a switch. That shit. Bro, you only got 6 of these left. I mean, we're past the midway point. Well past it. There's only 6 games left. What are you talking about? What do you think? You're going to turn into 24? You're not turning into 24. Bro, this is who you are. Nothing is going to happen differently. You're going to have to win games like this and lose games. Get this. Silz predicting a 0-6. Who fucking said that but a glazed donut game? A glazed donut Eagle fan. See this guy, Corinne? This guy walks around on his Eagle knees. And if you say something negative towards anything, not giving your assessment on what you're watching, this guy fucking cries. Seriously, no bitches allowed in here. It blows my mind, though, Silz, because we still won off the defense last year. They should be worse off than the offense. Completely worse off than the offense. But why is that, Dirty D? They got better coaching, man, on that side of the ball. There's absolutely better coaching. Hey, get this. You ready for this? Everybody over my X account right now, because we're talking like this, is calling me a racist. Fuck you. How's that? Seriously. I mean, honestly. I mean, right. It doesn't faze me. We ain't changing shit. You don't like what you're hearing? I can't help you. You need to go watch the Glazed Donut Eagle show. You got a ton of them in that market. You got a ton of them. You want to go watch Bill Cunnilingus? Or you want to watch any of them other guys? Go right ahead, man. I'm sure you'll feel better about your life. And you'll be able to go into your... I told you, too. I posted it on my X account. I don't want any crying in here today. Okay? No crying. Oh, good day. Hey, man. All good, my friends. We're good. Okay? And Reyes says it shows depressing. Well, then, dude, you should leave. Silz, you taught me that OCs can't make lateral moves. So who would the Birds hire this season? Much better than Patullo's last 5. No. Remember something, my friend. You got to think of not hiring somebody for Jalen Hurts. You got to think who Nick wants to work with. It's not working with Jalen. They don't hire coaches for Jalen. They hire coaches for Nick. Collinsworth believes that the Eagles waiting for the playoffs to unleash Hurts in the run game. He believes Hurts running, okay, it's imperative for him to win. I'll agree with this. Patrick Mahomes doesn't really like to run during the regular season. He's had to do more of it this year because they're less limited in talent. He usually saves that for the postseason too. So I'll buy some of that. Okay? I'll buy some of that. How many more L's before Hurts is viewed as the biggest problem? Since the Jalenites are protective of their baby Jesus. I don't know. I really don't know. This all comes down. Like I said, this all comes down to people crying about Jalen Hurts. He's the problem too. He's one of the biggest problems. Okay? He's one of the, you know what's happened to Jacob? I'm going to tell you what's happened to Jacob. Xander will be with us at 3:30. You know what's happened to Jacob? We're the only network that's telling you the truth. The other guys are afraid. We're not telling you anything that's not happening. All you got to do is watch the damn game yourself and not see it through those glazed donut glasses of yours. Hurts is not a bum. That's not the case. He's a bum in this offense. Okay? He's a bum in this offense. Yeah, I agree with that. Bet against Hurts and make some cash. I wouldn't bet against him. What, you think that Cowboy game changes my opinion of him and his winning ways? No way. I've never said that. Actually, I told you this on the postgame show. I didn't learn anything about the Eagles. You got the problem here once again. You know, what's crazy? I feel sometimes I'm on an island and everyone all of a sudden gets shocked. You're the ones that are shocked. I'm not. I said it on the postgame show. That loss to the Cowboys didn't teach me anything. I already knew. I already knew that about the team. I'm not stunned. Silz, did the Cowboy loss shock you? No. I never. Silz, does it sway your opinion that the Eagles could be in the NFC Championship game this year? No. Because I don't think there's a lot of good teams in the NFC. I think the Rams are playing the best now, but what does that mean in December? I don't know. I want to see the Rams outside of that SoFi Stadium. Put them in a cold winter game in Philly or anywhere outside. Let me see how they play. I mean, I don't know. The kryptonite to the Rams has been the Eagles. Just like at times the kryptonite's been the Bucs to the Eagles. All about matchups. Who you play in the postseason? Do I think the Eagles could be one of the final 4 teams in the NFC? Absolutely. So that Cowboy loss didn't change your... No. It's changed your opinions. You're the ones that are surprised. You're the ones that now the quarterback, his limitations are being exposed. I saw him April 27th. From the time I came on the air, nothing's changed. He's gotten better. he's a winner. All of that. I would change my opinion on a kid. I've been pretty consistent. Got a great resume. Always got to put him in the top 5 overall. This year he's not. The 2 to 3 decent drives we did in the second half got negated because of penalties. Backbreaking. Well, that's continuity in the offense. When you're changing interchangeable parts out and guys are hurt, guys aren't as focused, people are bored with the offense, people don't trust it. Why do you think, hey, before I answer this, why do you think you had 14 penalties and 96 yards on offense? Does anybody want to throw an idea out? Okay. This is a beautiful super chat, and I love this. Look at it, Xander. I tune into Big Silz because he says the shit out loud that I'm thinking while watching the games. If I wanted to tune into someone that tells me how great I am, no matter what, I'd call my grandma. That's right. Coaching? You think you had 14 penalties and 96 yards because of coaching? You know what I think it is? It's because people don't trust the offense. Pre-snap penalties, alignments, false starts. All of that comes with being unsure of what you're being asked to do. How many times when you get a new job, you're slow at the job at first? Why? Because you really don't know what the expectations are. This is what's happening with the offense here. They're unsure what to do. Passing game, continuity, the run game's not good. The quarterback is not very consistent at times. He's wobbled. Sometimes he looks like a world beater. Sometimes he doesn't. The RPO is going to work after that successful 22 season. It's the NFL, good coaching catching on. He can't pass for 4 quarters. Then what does he fall back on? John, don't tell me that the NFL catches up with Lamar Jackson running out in open space or Josh Allen. He had to evolve in the passing game, not in his wheels. Jalen's a good runner. Imagine this. The Eagles or Hurts or both have decided that he wants to be in the rest of the conversation with the guys around him. Actually, if you think about it, Jalen's numbers aren't all that bad. So what Jalen's done this year is his numbers have improved. Everyone else's numbers around him have gone the other way. What does that tell you? He wants to be perceived as a pocket passer the same way Josh Allen and the rest of these guys are being perceived. That's why he doesn't run as much. That's why he audibled into that one sprint. This is ego. He stopped running like McNabb. You took the best asset that Wink Martindale said away from him. You know what that was? His ability to extend plays with his wheels. You take that away from him, he's a below average pocket passer. He's not any of those other guys. You're not an elite quarterback when your unit is 25th 2 years in a row. You're not. You're not elite. You're just not. Well, he's got 17 touchdowns and 1 pick, and his offense blows. Hey, congratulations to you, kid. What are you, A.J. Brown? You want numbers? Is that what we're doing here? So Hurts is getting numbers, but the rest of the guys suck. The entire unit sucks. Is that correct? Okay. Sounds to me like a quarterback wants a little bit of shine on him on how people perceive him. He talks to me about winning. Well, he ain't playing winning football. Not when the rest of his guys aren't being involved. He's not gotten anybody involved in the offense. Run game's not involved. Passing game's not involved. He's none of it. Who has he made better this year? No one. You tell me. What are you watching? You see my hero? My hero's out there, and he's doing all of this and by himself. Well, you're not going to win a Super Bowl by yourself, son. You're not. He knows this. This is about MJ brand and all that other bullshit. It's what Hugh said. I'll tell you what. Hugh Douglas ain't going to come out and say this. That guy's not a very good leader. Why would he say that? Now, Hugh Douglas, thank God Hugh Douglas is black. Because if he was white, he'd be called a racist too. Man, I'm up here in Philly for the game Friday. I hope they don't get belt to ass. Hey, Marsh, get this. If you can't get right against this Bears defense, you got big problems. This Bears defense is not great. And when you're counting on turnovers, I hate that metric. Turnovers come and go every year. I think it's sometimes luck. Turnovers are luck to me. Playing solid defense and technique, that ain't luck. That's good play. Fucking turnovers? I mean, well, the team led the NFL in turnovers. Well, how were they next year? Well, they were second to last. That's not a metric. That's not a metric.